Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I had my mic muted there. We're gonna be streaming today. Wait, let's see. So I got the chat open as well. Um, we have quite a bit of work to do today. I need to study. I need to do circle. I need to do induction, and then I need to go over some all of the proofs in the course, basically in a nutshell. So I need to go over all the proofs, and then I need to do some French homework and some physics homework, and that's us done. So I think I'm gonna start off with, I might start doing the circle. Yeah. So yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll keep my mic unmuted. For now. Thank God. What do I want to do? Okay, so pull my monitor on an arm to give me more space on my table, and it's helping a lot with, like, especially with all the different books and everything. Circle, you did it this year to me. Yeah. So earlier I studied all of differentiation, all of integration. I did a lot of practice questions. So I just need to do circle. I did 2 weeks ago, I'd like to say. And then, bro, to be honest, I don't really care if I'm streaming to 0 viewers anymore, man. Excuse me. It used to bother me a lot, like, oh, like, why am I even bothering streaming to this? I don't care anymore, man. Like, I mean, so we're gonna do every exercise in these notes. We're gonna do every odd numbered exercise. The circle should take us an hour, so one whole session. So I think I'll just start the timer there as well. Alright, so basically I'm gonna try and build up the stream, so like when the timer runs out, I have a sound effect that plays, or something like, sorry, has some sort of sound effect that plays or something like that. I think would be really cool. So it says, so this is exercise 2. So it says circle 2 1. 2 1 is the center of a circle, and 2 minus 2 is a point on the circumference. Find the equation of the circle. So the equation of the circle, there's a whole page, I believe, in the formula booklet for equation of the circle. Yeah, it's here, right? So it's 1, so it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Now, I think r squared is r is equal to, okay, let's draw it out. I'm gonna have to revise. Oh no, I have to spend a good amount of time on this. Circle, I don't know why I found circle does not come to me naturally for some reason. I don't know what it is, but there's a 2 comma minus 2. So find the equation of the circle. So radius is going to be distance of a line formula, because from the center to circumference. So d is equal to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. It's got d is equal to 3, so r is equal to 3. And basically it's the center, so it's going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 9, because you square the radius. Okay, so the circle is, to find the equation of the circle. Radius is equal to 5, and center midpoint is equal to minus 3 comma 4. So it's just going to be x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 25. Okay, 5. Okay, so they give us the endpoints of the diameter, and we need to find the equation of the circle. So first and foremost, what we can do is we need to find midpoint, and we need to find midpoint will give it the center point. So let's do that first. So I think minus 3. Let me just write down these points real quickly, guys. Yeah. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Minus 3 plus 1 over 2, and then 3 plus, so minus 1 over 2. So it's basically just minus 1 over, no, minus 1, 1. So that's our center point. And then if you want to get the diameter, we're going to use distance of a line formula. And then we're just going to half it, and then we'll sub it into our formula. So x2 minus x1 squared, minus minus is a plus, y2 minus y1 squared. But I really wish, if there's one thing I really wish for, d is equal to root of 32. Root 32 divided by 2 is, oh sorry, no, 2 root 2. So r is equal to 2 root 2. So I have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 2 root 2 squared is equal to 8. So that looks about right, yeah? So I have 7, and it says, okay, these are the endpoints of the diameter. Find the value of k. So it's basically a circle. They've given us the center, sorry. They given us the center point, which is 3, 5. And they said, okay, my headphones died, great. So ak minus 2, b, okay. Find the value of k. So we know the distance from this to this is equal to distance from this to this. So oh no, I think we got it. So k minus 2, because the distance is going to be the same because radii are always equal in length. So I think we can use that kind of strategy here. So I remember I sat down a whole weekend and I did it, and then the test, bro, it went so bad. It went so bad. Like I don't know why. Look, and the thing is, we haven't even got that test back, and she's already testing the same topic again. Like I feel like if you want to test a topic, give the first test back first, so we can reflect on it, and then maybe she did give it back. I wasn't in on the, but yeah. Anyways. Back to the thing. X1, Y1, and then I could do both of these as X2, Y2. I don't think that should matter. E is equal to if I square both sides, it should be. It says find the equation of the circle with the center 3, 3, and it touches both axes. So kind of like that. So it touches the y-axis like that, and touches the x-axis like that. So that's like r is equal to 3, clearly, you know. So it's like x minus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 9. Okay, and then 11 is find the equation of the circle. So very easy. So you have if it has x, that means it's going to be a vertical line. So x equals 4, x equals 8, and the radius is, so first coordinate is 6 clearly because radius is 2. So r is equal to 2, and it's 6 comma, it says it lies in the y equals 3. That's y equals 3, so then it's just 6 comma 3, and radius is 2, so we'll square that. So we got x minus 6 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 4. Beautiful. Okay, now we have question 30. It's much easier. This is circle S has this, and it makes a chord on the y-axis of 6 units. So y-axis means that x is equal to 0, right? And y-intercept x is equal to 0. That's a very important point. So we're going to draw a circle. We'll mark in our center point as 4 comma 2, and then makes a chord on the y-axis. So like that. And this is a 6 unit chord. This is 0, right? This, because that's the origin, that's, well, not the origin, but that's 0, that's 4. The length of that is 4. That's 6 6, so that has to be 3. 3 4 5. So radius is equal to 5. So then it's x minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 25. Right, no, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so then a circle C has a midpoint. Okay, I like to draw things out. Even though they've given us a diagram in this question, I think it's always important to just form your own perspective. So center point is great, right? They've given us that. They've said that, okay, look, you've made something here, and this is 1, 3. This is 1 comma 3. So they want us to find the distance there. And 2 root 10 is just going to be root 10 is going to be that. So we need to find that. Very easy, distance of a line formula. So it's x2 minus x1, so x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So that's 9 squared plus 6, no, 9 plus 16 is 25. Square root 25 is equal to 5. So that's very easy. X minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 25. Okay, really getting into this, bro. I'm gonna lie. So basically, minus g minus f. So basically, we divide by 2 and we change the sign. Divide by 2, change the sign. R is equal to g, f squared. Okay. I won't really bother with that. So intersecting circle. So how do we deal with an intersecting circle, right? So you can have a common chord. A tangent is, it touches the circumference on 1 point, whereas a chord 2 points. And internally touching circles, okay. So C1 minus C2. C1 plus C2 for externally touching, C1 minus C2 for equation for the common tangent is C1 minus C2. So common tangent, okay. That's definitely much easier than the first time I did it. It says find the points of intersection of the line x minus 3y plus 5 equals 0 in the circle this. So what a really important thing to do is we need to isolate the x, right? It can be y or x, but I think it's in here. So, and then whatever value for x we get, we need to sub it back into our equation here. So 3y minus 5 squared plus y squared minus 6 by 3y minus 5 minus 2y plus 5. So now I have everything in terms of y, so we can solve for y. So 9y squared minus 30y plus 25 plus y squared minus 18y plus 30 minus 2y plus 5 is equal to 0. So 10y squared minus 50y, so we can just get rid of that, and then plus 60. But what's really beautiful here is we can just divide everything across by 10. So we have y squared minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. Then we have y we're going to get two values for y. If we get two values for y, it's a chord. It's not a tangent. Because remember what I said? Tangent only touches the circumference at one point. I really wish I could get like an overhead camera while I'm doing this mathematics, but I'll think about it. Okay, y plus 1. So we got y equals 6 and a y equals minus 1. But that's not it. They asked for the coordinates. So we just sub that back in. So we have plenty of time, The homework can wait, bro. So x is equal to 13, and then x is equal to minus 8. So then that leaves us with minus 8 minus 1 and 13 comma 6. So now on to the next question. Sorry, not next exercise. Getting a bit ahead of myself there. Find the points of intersection of this and this, and as it the tangent. This is very easy. So x is equal to, I don't know, in the exam, bro, I don't know why I just blanked, bro. I just completely blanked, like, but I think now I'm really opening my eyes to exactly how you're meant to tackle these questions. Like, my brain is so sharp after doing differentiation integration. My brain feels so sharp. Like, I can just minus 20y plus 5y squared 0. Like, I used to think that going into leaving cert, the maths is going to be so difficult, but to be honest with you, it's not bad at all. Like, you really get good at maths, man. If you have a good teacher, your teacher matters a lot. So unfortunately, a lot of people, so y is equal to 2, so that's a tangent. That is a tangent. So that's, yeah. And then I can just add that back in. So x is equal to 1. So that's 1 comma 2. And all matters on your teacher as well. If your teacher is, I don't say any teacher is bad, but as everyone has their own learning style as well. But you know what? I want to do some other sort of a question. Midpoint. Find the coordinates of A and B. Okay, A is looking like a really nice. Do questions that challenge you to think. Okay, so it says at the point A and B, find the coordinates of A and B. Same thing. It's the same question. Time and time again. This time, I think it's better to isolate the y and then just subbing that back in. So x squared plus minus 2x minus 3 squared. Anything squared is a real number. Any real number squared in are equal to 0. So that'll work out fine. And then it's minus 2x minus 2 by minus 2x minus 3 minus 23 is equal to 0, right? So x squared plus 4x squared minus 2x by minus 3 is 6 plus 12x plus 9. Remember I said everything will work out in the end. Plus, because it's minus 2, so plus 4x plus 6 minus 23 is equal to 0. And then we have 5x squared so we have 16x plus 14x. (15 minus 23 minus 8). Unfortunately, 5 is prime number. It does not simplify further, so if you go for 1 by 8, which won't work, we can go for 2 by 4, which will work. So if I go, did I do something wrong? Why is it minus 8? It should not be minus 8. I already... Let me hurry this up. Time is of the essence right now. Every single... Oh, oh, for oh, it is approximate points. Oh, there's a fault with the question. And find the corner just minus one by from the other. Point of intersection. Minus one from the other. Okay. No, it's fine. I understand that. I'm just looking over. So exercise 5 says find the coordinates of the points of the circle where they intersect the x-axis. Now, hence find the length of the intercept the circle makes on the x-axis. That's an interesting question. So let's just look over. Oh, so you just sub it in, right? It's just the classic, oh, like, oh, on x-axis y is equal to 0. So let's write that down. So let's say, okay, let's say we have exercise 5. So it says on x-axis y is equal to 0, right? So x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. So now we're going to get two kind of points where it intersects the x-axis. So x, let's factorize this. So it's going to be quadratic. Minus 5 minus 1. X is equal to 1. X is equal to 5. Right? Let's just find the length of the intercept. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4 units. That was easy. 3. Find the length of the intercept mixed on the x-axis. On x is so y is equal to 0. X squared minus 10x plus 9 is equal to, so another quadratic yet again. X minus 9, x minus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to 9, x is equal to 1, 9 minus 1 is equal to 8 units. Always put in units, it's good. Because if the exam's easy, they're going to be docking you marks for everything. They know what they're doing with that. They know exactly what they're doing. They don't have the facilities, bro. So, you know, we want as many people to not get the course that they want in university. So x-axis y is equal to 0. So x squared minus 10x plus 16 minus 8 minus 2. So x minus 8, x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 8, and x is equal to 2. And then find the coordinates. So we find the x values. So do I use the quadratic or do you use the... I think I just use the quadratic. So y is equal to 64 minus 80 plus 60. Nah, that's a 0. So I can't use that. So just find the coordinates of the points. So do I just sub it back in? I think I just sub it back in. So I have 64 plus y squared minus 80 minus 2y plus 9 is equal to 0. So now I'm like, alright, mate, let's do this. But then that's going to give me a quadratic. But honestly, I don't know. 64 plus 9 minus 80 is equal to minus 7. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to kind of ChatGPT that one, just to see, just to double check, just to speed up the process. Okay, why is he using minus b for everything, my bro? Everything's using minus b. Everything. Oh yeah, it's on the... I'm so stupid. It's 0 because on the x-axis y is equal to... Bro, sometimes you just never learn. Sometimes you just sometimes. Okay. B, show that the circle does no wait. B cuts the y-axis. So x is equal to 0 now. Finally, so y squared plus 8y plus 16 is equal to 0. So 4 by 4, right? So it's only 1 point. Oh shoot! So it's like 0 comma minus 4. So the y-axis is Y-axis is a tangent to the circle. Yeah, that's a y-axis is tangent to circle. Nice. Now we'll do last question here. Find the coordinates of the points where the circle distances intersect. So x equals 0. Just sub that in straight away. Y squared minus 10y plus 21. Straight away we know that minus 3 by minus 7 is going to be. So y minus 3, y minus 7 equals 0. Y is equal to 3 and y is equal to 7. Beautiful. Lovely. And then if you want the points, we know on the y-axis x is equal to 0, so we just put 0 and 0. Yeah, nice. Okay, and then it says show that the circle does not cross the y-axis. So we're gonna get, so y is equal to 0 on the x-axis, right? So we're gonna have x squared plus 4x plus 21, and we're gonna do the discriminant. And if the discriminant is less than 0, you know, it's no real roots. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4, and c is equal to 21. So b squared, so 16 minus 4 by a by 21. So that's like 84 minus 6. Minus 68 is less than 0, therefore no real roots. Discriminant should come into my mind when I do that. I like how diverse this exercise, how diverse our notes are. Just very good stuff. Oh, this chair, man, it's not the best posture. Oh. I've been sitting in this chair a lot today because I'm such a procrastinator, but we all start somewhere, you know. A circle in the first quadrant touches both the x-axis and the y-axis, and the radius is 4, and write down the coordinates of C, the center of the circle. So I like to just visualize this. So it's touching both the x-axis and the y-axis, and it's in the first quadrant, and the radius is 4. If it's touching the x-axis and it's touching the y-axis, the coordinates have to be 4, 4. Because in the first quadrant. Now, hence write down the equation. Very easy. So x minus 4 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 16. That's the equation of the circle. Done and dusted. And you collect full marks. Okay, so a circle in the third quadrant. When it gets into the third quadrant, you have to think about minuses and pluses. So it's talking about x and y. So okay, so you're negative negative. So it's minus 7 minus 7. Because you're below the x-axis and you're to the left of the y-axis. Yeah. So it's x plus 7 squared plus y plus 7 squared is equal to 49. Now, the point 24 is the center of the circle, and y x you're gonna get fooled. Dry, always dry, I swear to God. Like, you're gonna make some stupid mistake. It's gonna happen. It's not the y coordinate we look at. We look at the x coordinate. The radius is 2. So it's very easy. X minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 4. Don't forget to square the radius, please. 7. I'm getting bored of this. It says the center of the circle lies on this. The x-axis and the y. Okay, yeah, 12 looks. If I can do 12, I can do the whole exercise, okay? If I can do the final boss question, I'll do 11 as well. Why not? So it says the center of the circle lies on the line x plus 3y. Okay, fine. The y-axis to the x-axis and the y-axis are tangents to the circle. That is interesting. So the center of the circle lies on the line. Fine. And the x and the y axis are tangents to the circle. So he's a tangent and he's a tangent. Like this is the y and this is the x. The center of the circle. So the center of the circle is lying on this point. So are they trying to make me sub in 0 for x and 0 for y and then find something? You know what? Let's do it. There's nothing to lose. So on y axis, x is equal to 0. Let's do it. So 3y is equal to 4. Y is equal to 4 over 3. And then on x-axis, y is equal to 0. So it's x is equal to 4. I'm curious. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how do you approach this question, because I just want to see the approach. That's my main thing. So h is equal to k is equal to or. So the center is or. So x, y, so or is equal to 1. Equation of the circle, 1, 1. Oh, that's interesting. So basically what he's saying is the x coordinate will be equal to the y coordinate, which will be equal to the radius. So x coordinate will be equal to the y. Oh, that is very deep. That is very mathematical. So x is equal to y is equal to r. So r is equal to x and y. So we can just sub that in. So we get 4r is equal to 4, r is equal to 1, and then I can do 2 as well. I can do r is equal to 2 as well. So really, I can have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 1. Or I could have x minus 2 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 4. Or I could do x minus 3 equal to 9. Yeah, you get the gist. And then I'll just do 11 as well there while I'm at it. This is the x-axis is tangent to okay, let's do it. X-axis is a x-axis is a tangent to the circle. Excuse me. So I think it's minus g minus f, isn't it? Minus g minus f. Show that g squared is equal to c. So r is equal to minus f. How would you do that? See, I don't want to waste too much time. So the center of the circle lies on. So basically the x, the g, no, so the x is equal to the y is equal to the r. So, okay, that's very interesting. We need to see what quadrants they are. Then we need to sub in r into the equation to get the radius. And then we got the... But how did you get two different points? So he did it in the first quadrant and he did it in the second quadrant as well. So that's x, y. How does ChatGPT do this? Oh, so quadrants. So if I think about another circle that satisfies condition, I need to think about... That's wrong. It just needs to be another quadrant. Quadrant, finding the equation given 3 points in the circumference. Sub them into the general equation. So sub them into... So it's like x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. That's it, right? 2gx plus 2fy is equal to 0. Sub in your 3 points, you get 3 simultaneous equations, and then bang. Sub them in, sub them in, sub them in. Point inside, outside, or on the circle. So equation of form. So this is legit. So if it's inside the circle, it's less than, greater than this. But if it's written in 2gx 2fy, it's equal. Inside the circle is greater than 0, and outside the circle is less than 0. Touching circles. This is the point of contact between two touching circles. So the point of contact between two circles can be found by translation or using the formula by dividing. So